Here we see the return of the Gamerverse Spider-Man to the Marvel Legends line produced by Hasbro and as seen in the Spider-Man 2 video game. It is part of the ill-fated plastic-free packaging era of figures with render art lifted presumably directly from the video game on the side. And you can see just a standard photo or art render of the figure on the other side, and on the back we will see there's tons of points of articulation, and comes with 7 accessories as seen right here. So let's open it up and take a look at the figure. This particular design sees the original web-slinger Peter Parker taking up the mentorship role to Miles Morales in the Spider-Man 2 game storyline. This figure is one of many Spider-Man you can get coming from either the Marvel Cinematic line, Marvel Animated lines, which to me includes the original animated series and the CGI Across the Spider-Verse movies. Obviously, there's going to be the classic comic lines and even the Spider-Man Japanese live action series. So again, tons of articulation. We've got toes, we've got swivel hinge ankles, we got boot calf swivel, we've got the double hinge knees, which are pinless, swivel thighs, ball jointed drop down hips. There is no waist articulation, but there is ab crunch waist, ball jointed torso hinge, obviously the butterfly pecs that typically comes with Spider-Man nowadays, swivel hinge drop down shoulders. We got bicep swivel, double hinged elbows, also pinless, which is great. Swivel hinge wrists. There is no ball jointed neck and base, but there is a ball jointed head. And for the accessories, we've got a web line that he can hold and hang from. You can see at the very bottom there something that he can grab onto, and the very top is kind of stylized. We've got two, I don't know how to explain these, 2 web splats that I guess you could just, it's a stylistic thing, just put it on top of something, I guess, like on top of a car, whatever. We've got a web splat for the torso. We'll show you how it looks in a little bit, and web splat for the face. Got him. And finally, we've got 2 additional hands balled up in a fist. Here we see Spider-Man webbed up. For some reason, he's webbed up himself, and you can see it's kind of cool. The plastic used for the webbing is relatively see-through, meaning that you can still see a lot of the details even when it's on a figure, which is really, really nice. It's better than all white. I think it adds a stylistic look to it, and we'll see how many other figures it actually fits. And so it's down to final thoughts about the figure and figure comparison. So overall, this is an amazing figure. Really love the way it looks, really hefty. I love the colors, and I've always really, really liked the Spider-Man video game design. I think it really adds like an interesting pop without changing too much, where you feel like you can still kind of see this within the comic universe. The common complaints, however, is not really ever going to be solved by the figure itself, but something that they may or may not bother other collectors would be very, very obviously it's difficult to get the paint lined up correctly. We're talking about if he does a little bit of a swivel, then this, the Spider-Man logo is not going to line up correctly, or any place here, the webbing, the legs, just everything won't line up unless he's standing the way he was painted. I guess that's the best way I can explain it. You can. If you can overlook it, and I think most people would, obviously this is not going to be a problem. However, I guess a slight complaint, and I feel like this has happened recently, is some of the ball joints are entirely too tight. And this happened on one of my Spider-Man figures. from the movie line. I don't remember what it was called, but it was the one with the Peter Parker head and the standard head. And so the ball joint just simply does not budge, gets stuck no matter how much hot water you put on it, and it ends up feeling like you're gonna twist the plastic and kind of bend it and break it. This is somewhat what I'm feeling with this swivel hinged, the ball jointed torso hinge, I should say. But overall, again, really great figure. I don't typically do too many crazy poses when I am displaying it. So I'm perfectly fine with it. Reason for that is I'm just lazy. Figure comparison time. Here is another Spider-Man, and you can see it's basically 1-for-1. It's nearly a perfect match, and in terms of design language. And here is the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man figure. You can see it's just a little bit shorter, which is totally fine with me. Here we see Spider-Gwen, even smaller, but she's a teen, and I don't think she's gonna. Oh, yep, she's standing. And finally, for the figure comparison, we've got Black Cat. Will she stand? Sort of. She will. I guess she's kind of got a weird. Yeah, she's got a weird lean to her, but that's okay, I guess. So within the Spider-Man line, clearly this Gamerverse Spider-Man is actually one of the bigger ones, which is absolutely fine. Let's see what other ones I have to join. We've got Japanese Spider-Man, who is actually just about the same size. We've got classic Spidey. Oh boy, this one's definitely gonna knock over here. Yeah, we've got classic Spidey over there, and no, I know I'm breaking some rules here. I'll just get all the Spider-Man out. Why not? Sure. So, Spider-Verse. Yeah, that's not gonna. Yeah, all right. That's all I can comfortably fit. Actually, Japanese Spider-Man seems to be one of the taller ones here. Pretty amazing. I thought he'd actually be a standard 6-inch figure. Of the figures here, the standard is the Tobey Maguire, which we'll put up just in comparison here. The Tobey Maguire is exactly 6 inches tall in a 6-inch figure line, so you get to see how it kind of shapes up there. You can see how the video game language doesn't really look great with the movie line language, which again makes complete sense. And if you are going to be displaying it with any other types of figures, let's get these all out of the way, including this guy. Does not stand up well against the Star Wars Black Series figures. Doesn't really quite look right with the G.I. Joe figures as well, and definitely something's wrong if it shares any shelf space with a Power Ranger, which just does not look right, and she knows it, so she kind of tried to get out of the way of the camera. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about the figure. I really enjoyed it. I really like it, and however, the MSRP $34.99 kind of tough, but I felt like I had to get it since I missed it the first time around. And so let me know your thoughts and maybe whether you feel the same way.